Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and you probably have heard the news already. Joe Biden has signed the major military aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, and definitely we are going to cover it, talk about it now, and definitely we are only focusing on Ukraine because Taiwan and Israel is a non-issue. So this is the big news. Definitely, Biden has inked the $95 billion war aid. So this comes after, of course, very hard to convince House, the Congress, and because it's led by the Republicans, they finally got it to sign somehow, and to the celebration of the pro-Ukrainian crowd. And among this deal, there is a lot of stuff. And what is not said also is that it also allows, if I'm not wrong from my memory, it also gave Joe Biden some additional powers in terms of giving stuff to Ukraine. And the Pentagon immediately announced the $1 billion military aid. So this $1 billion of package of stuff that will be giving to Ukraine includes the RIM-7 and the AIM-9M anti-air missiles. These are the AIM-9 is supposedly meant for aircraft, but I think these are all used from the ground. I'm not sure if it's going to be given to the fighter jets or is it going to be like a surface-to-air missile kind of thing. I'm not very familiar. I'm not a geek into military equipment, but we will see. Stinger manpads is definitely anti-aircraft, so probably they're going to use this on drones, and then there's additional HIMARS rocket artillery. There's going to be 155 artillery shells. There's cluster munitions, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles. This Bradley is not even a surprise because footages and pictures of the Bradley being unloaded has been I think, is it Greece or somewhere? I cannot remember which country. It was already shown. It went viral on Twitter just a few days ago. So even before the signing was done, the Bradley vehicles is already being sent. They are already on the way. The MRAPs, the mine-resistant armored vehicles, and more Humvees. No, these are Humvees. More Humvees. Then more Javelins and AT-4 anti-tank missiles, and also some precision-guided aerial munition, which is air missiles, so guided missiles for jets. And they also will be receiving more rifle rounds, anti-tank mines, claymore mines, explosive ordnance for clearing obstacles. So these are anti-mine stuff, I guess, or not claymore, the bungalow torpedoes. I don't think they use bungalow torpedoes nowadays. So anyway, then they're gonna have other stuff also. Including in this 1 billion package, there is auxiliary stuff, logistic equipment, recovery equipment, airfield support equipment, night vision devices, spare parts, and training gears. Of course, what is not said is the numbers of all these things. It might look like a lot of things, but it might not be that many in quantity. So because it's still $1 billion only, so it may not actually be a lot. So maybe like 12 Bradley fighting vehicles, that kind of thing. It might not be that many. So including what is including is that included in this package, or more to come maybe after this $1 billion. The Assistant Secretary of the State of the European and Eurasian Affairs basically told Ukrainian reporters 2 days ago that it's not just about Patriots. There is also anti-air systems that used to hit drones and slower missiles. So those are going to be part of the package. But he didn't mention Patriots. So it's unclear if the Americans will give them more Patriots because Patriots are super expensive. We shall see. And there's also revelations coming out from Reuters and AP. They cited an anonymous US official saying that the ATACMS missiles, this super long range 300 kilometers HIMARS missiles, has already been given to Ukraine. And in fact, this has already been reported by the Russian Defense Ministry and the Russian open source intelligence of the usage of the ATACMS missiles. So this is the first official report coming from Western media. that confirms that the attack arms has been given to Ukraine, and this is given in March 2024, and it was said that AP wrote that it's a significant number of the attack arms, but did not mention the precise quantity. So this is the one that was used to attack the Crimean air base, and this attack arm at this moment, Russia do not have a countermeasure for it yet, because it's a totally different kind of missile. I think the surface-to-air missile systems are not. They have not programmed it in a way that they can actually track and shoot down these kind of missiles, which is why the attack arm attacks was successful. This happens also at the beginning of the introduction of HIMARS. When HIMARS was first introduced into the Ukraine war, the Russian military actually have no means of shooting down HIMARS missiles. It took a few, I think, I'm not sure how long. It took a while, maybe a few weeks, where they start to able to track the missiles and then able to shoot it down. So now shooting down HIMARS missiles is now becoming a norm for the Russian military. But the attack arms is an entirely different kind of missiles. So, tentatively, the Russians have no means of stopping this missile just yet. So, and we go over to Europe. The more good news for the Ukrainians, under the Czech Republic, they have this initiative to help to find new ammunition, artillery ammunition, through some kind of a procurement program. So this program seems to be very secretive. It's unclear how the Czech able to find more factories to build all these rounds, but definitely they probably talking to people, maybe India, maybe Pakistan or whatever. So because they cannot sell directly to Ukraine, many countries can't sell directly to Ukraine. So maybe through the Czech Republic they are able to or Czechia. I'm not sure what is Czech nowadays called Czechia. When people sell it to Czech or Czech Republic or Czechia, then is not selling to Ukraine. So I think this is the initiative that they are talking about. And so the first shipments of this artillery procured through the Czech initiative will be arriving in Ukraine in late May or early June, which is pretty soon, in a month's time. So in mid-April, it was said that the Prime Minister of Czech, Peter Fiala, has signed contracts for 180,000 artillery rounds to Ukraine, and are currently negotiating the contract for an additional 300,000 rounds. And so all in all, they believe that they can procure 1.5 million artillery shells for Ukraine within a year. And this is also supported by EU, and EU. So the EU are going to also invest money into this Czech initiative to help to get rounds from outside of the EU and the US factories. So this is very interesting, and also more good news is that about artillery shells is that the US Army has announced that they are now on the path to triple their monthly production of the 155 millimeter shells. So this comes after, because Biden signed this new aid deal. A massive part of this aid deal is actually invested back into the United States, and this is probably the money to build more factories. So tentatively let's say they will be able to do 100,000 rounds per month in a year's time, according to the Lieutenant General James Mingus. So tentatively, they are only making 30,000 shells at the US Army factories. So they going to reach 100,000 round goal, dependent on the $3.1 billion requested. So they actually requested money. So this part of this deal that was signed, the aid deal, is to allow the US Army to build these new facilities. And the new facilities will be built in Arkansas, Kansas, and Texas. So yeah, so for you guys who are Americans and are looking for a job, this is career opportunity. So then this is probably a good career, because confirm you have business to do. For work, you have work to do. you won't get sacked because they need a lot of rounds. So so this is by saying that no, they are happy with 100,000 rounds in a year's time clearly shows that this Ukraine war is going to fight on for another year at the very least. My own prediction is 2 years. So this war is likely to go on for another 2 years, matching the World War II situation where it fought for 4 years. But of course, that was a total war. This is not a total war yet. So I think it's 2 years, and then the Western economic system will entirely collapse. US debt will go out of control, and then there is no way the West can fund this war anymore. That's my prediction. But it's still gonna take time. Ukraine still have the will to fight, despite a lot of the civilians seems to lost the will to fight. But no, as a country on its own, they are still able to fight. So the war is still going to go on for some time, and you have to see also the front line is still very far away from Kiev at this moment. So no, and Russia is in no rush. Russia is in no rush. Oh, that's so cool. No, Russia is not rushing. No, that's so interesting. So, more good news for Ukraine. Denmark has announced that they will give all their F-16 to Ukraine. So, as of 2023, they have 44 F-16s, but they are selling 24 to Argentina. So, which is concluded in April 2024. So, the remaining 19, they will be giving all of them to Ukraine. And I got a feeling that this is for free. So this is but then this actually caused some problems for Denmark within Denmark, because the Denmark was saying some analysts and whatnot they have been criticizing that this leave Denmark total imbalance in terms of their air force, because they only have like 4 to 12 F-35, and they wouldn't have enough air force to defend themselves. So but whatever it is, they already said the Russians are coming, the front line is now in Ukraine. So that's what it says. So it makes sense if you think in that sense, to give Ukraine whatever they have to keep the fighting in Ukraine rather than going to Denmark. So that may work in that sense. So and this also comes rather predictably, because in 2023, at least 14 Ukrainian pilots has been given their go ahead to start their F-16 training in Denmark, which means that out of the 19 F-16s, they already have 14 pilots, at least 14 pilots. So we might have another 5 F-16s either to be used as spare parts or as reserves. So if let's say we assume that there's 14 pilots, then there's still another 5 spare ones. So you cannot assume that every pilot will have their own F-16s. No, wrong. Every F-16 will have a pilot, because you still need reserves. So if not, once the F-16 gets shot down or have spare part issue, mechanical issues, then the pilot will get stranded. So that's what it is. So accordingly, the total number of F-16 they are planning to give to Ukraine seems to be 65. 65 F-16 is a lot. It's quite a lot. Although, how long will this F-16 last in the modern warfare situation is hard to say. So 19 from Denmark, 24 from Netherlands, and 22 from Norway. So this is the F-16s that they are going to give to Ukraine, which means that we're going to see a Ukrainian offensive maybe next year. If they do it this year, they're gonna just waste it away. I think just like the last year's offensive is a wasted offensive, because the troops are just not ready for it. So I think the Ukrainian offensive is likely to be next year. And more good news for the Ukrainians. Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of UK, has also promised another $500 million to Ukraine on top of the $2.5 billion for this financial year, making it $3 billion. So UK already have financial issues, but they're still giving money to Ukraine. So that's good. And more good news for Ukraine is that the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense has purchased the DJI drones for the first time. So these are official procurements. So they are buying 4,000 DJI Maverick 3 drones. So 3000 are 3E and 1000 is 3T. And this is published on the MOD Ukrainian website, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense website. And this is part of a bigger tender. So they are planning to buy 20,000 drones, and this is only just the first batch. They are still tendering. They are still trying to get another 15,000 drones. In total they're gonna get 15,000 3E and 5,000 3T Maverick drones. So total worth 3 billion Ukrainian hryvnia. And so now currently they are bidding for another 6,000 drones, 4,500 3E and 1,500 3T. So but there is a delivery period deadline, which is May 31st. So the aim is to get 20,000 drones by end of May. So why is this interesting? Because they actually set up a website that allows people to do procurement called a Prozoro. I think many countries have something similar to this kind of procurement system. So through this system, independent companies can actually bid to supply these drones. So, and as a result, according to this article, it has been very successful. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense actually saved a lot of money through this capitalistic, the best bid wins the contract kind of thing. So interesting, and so China is going to earn more money from this, but definitely Ukraine is going to find this very useful. 20,000 drones, all of them, can be used for to tie up mortars and drop grenades and whatnot and not. So it's going to be useful in the war front, and this is also why they will not sanction China. They can't sanction China because they need it for war purposes. However, it's not all good news. So there's a lot of good news for the Ukrainians in terms of the military procurements and the supplies to revitalize the Ukrainian military. There is some bad news. One of the bad news is the most prominent one is the lack of Patriot systems. The only Patriot system that is able to be supplied is from Germany. Germany have agreed to send an extra Patriot system to Ukraine, but the Ukraine asked for 7. They're only getting 1. So this is one of the things. And NATO countries and the EU ministers has talked about it, but no one want to give up their Patriot systems because it's so expensive. Then and another bad news also coming. This one is coming from Germany. So the Germany has promised to supply MRAPs. So this MRAP vehicle to Ukraine. However, this $350 million deal is failing to achieve its targets. So according to an internal document in September 2023, the vehicle, these MRAPs are supposed to be delivered to the Ukrainians by batches every month, 20 vehicles per month, from January 2024 to October 2024, totaling 200 MRAPs. However, this thing entirely failed. They did not deliver a single MRAP at all. So, and then they are supposed to supply another 200 vehicles. For 2024 is totally scrapped, and they are only going to supply 100. And the first delivery is only expected to be in May next month. So and then in the most recent classified documents, this 100 will now even miss their May deadline. They are only going to deliver until June. June is the earliest they can deliver any vehicle. So this vehicle is having problems, and so this is just one of these bad news for the Ukrainians. But this is one of the rare ones because now everything is moving forward for Ukraine. According to the article, it seems like the delay is something to do with certain components or spare parts that is supposed to come from the United States, and also something to do with certification in terms of to certify the vehicle that can survive mines. But I don't think it matters. I think they just need a vehicle. they should just send it. So all this certification will be pointless because you can protect from the mines, but then you are gonna have drone attacks. So the key point is that they need the vehicles. As long as it's armored, I think it works. So but of course Germany is very quality important. Its quality is very important. So yeah, so there is this delay. So it is what it is. So anyway, this is the sum up of all the the military procurement and acquisition and transfer to Ukraine. A lot of good news for Ukraine, and which means that the war is going to drag on definitely for another year, 100% for another year, and Russia is dragging the war. They are taking their time. They are slowly moving. Although they are moving a lot faster nowadays because Ukraine just kind of hold them back, but still, it remains to be seen if this will backfire on the Russians' face. Because who knows, in a year's time, Europe and United States suddenly become very, united and very, very, they have strong willpower to push on. Then they are able to go into war economy to provide Ukraine with everything they need. Yeah, then maybe it will, you'll fall back into the Russian side. You will smack Russia in the face. But from my understanding of the economic situation in Europe, UK, US, is atrocious. It's atrocious. So the economic crisis is coming, definitely, especially with United States, that beyond is whatever is payable. So my suggestion, it's not a financial advice, but my suggestion is that prepare for a financial collapse. Try to save as much money as possible. Try to divest away from just keeping them as cash. Just be prepared, because whatever this looks like, it looks very positive for Ukraine. But these are at the expense of the economy of Europe and UK and US. Yeah, things are going to be quite bad. Hopefully it don't devolve into some kind of world war. That would be bad. So yeah, if economic collapse means there's no world war, then that's not too bad. Economic collapse might be worth it, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you for watching. These are the headlines, and I'll see you guys in the next update.